Now, look, let's talk about the latest hostage release. We saw chaos erupted in Gaza as 3 Israeli hostages were released by Hamas. But Israel briefly suspended the release of Palestinian prisoners after crowds of screaming men mobbed 2 of those captives. Dave, how much does this show the fragility around this ongoing ceasefire deal?
Look, I think it's highly fragile. I mean, I'm thankful each time I see further hostages are released. I think there are 3 Israeli citizens, 5 Thai nationals that were released, in the last 24 hours. But the sort of spectacle that Hamas is increasingly making of these hostage releases, they're turning them into like a media and publicity and propaganda opportunity, sickens me. They should be ashamed of themselves for what they have done and what they have subjected these people to against all the laws of war, against all the norms of civilised conduct. But instead, they are parading these people through the streets like they're from an era 2,000 years ago or something. I mean, I think that's sickening. And I think the Israeli public and the Israeli government is appalled by this. And I think it shows you, I think, that there is a lot of fragility to this ceasefire, and there's a lot of antagonism still towards Hamas. And there's a lot of concern in Israel, quite frankly, that Hamas is seemingly still a military force able to turn people out with weapons, with uniforms, and stage a spectacle like this. And I share that concern.
No, absolutely. It's just awful. Now, look, on the domestic front, Senator Jacinta Nampijinpa-Price has wasted no time in her new portfolio of Shadow Ministry for Government Efficiency, promising to cut funding for welcome to country ceremonies if the coalition wins the upcoming election. Senator Price says going forward, what has come out of the result of the Voice referendum is that Australians want to see taxpayer dollars work more effectively for them. Dave, I think this is welcome news. I mean, we've recently seen that taxpayers are forking out hundreds of thousands of dollars for these ceremonies for government. Have they gone too far?
I think so. I agree fundamentally with Jacinta Price here. I mean, I was staggered to learn that $500,000 over the past term of Parliament has been spent on welcome to country ceremonies. I mean, I think what the Voice debate and subsequent referendum results showed us was people support practical moves to improve the lives of Indigenous people and make sure they have equal opportunities with every other Australian, but they're not interested in symbolism or totemism. And I think using money, $500,000, which could be much better spent surely on schooling or housing or health or education or any number of other opportunities, is a terrible waste of money. And it's exactly the sort of expenditure that Jacinta Price should and will be targeting.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a welcome move, just like what's happening in the US with the DOGE department there. It's good to see some progress and fingers crossed more to come. Good to speak with you, Dave Sharma, as always. Thanks so much for joining me on the show.